All right, guys, welcome to Restoration Nation's team call. It is the first team call in October. It's so hard to believe that October is here. One, because it's fall. Two, because that means I'm going to have a baby soon. So we're going to pretend that we're just not going to think about that. But I'm really glad that you guys are on the call. This is going to be a really chill, relaxed, just kind of a hangout and brainstorm together call. But I want to go through a couple of announcements. So Clean Week is launching tomorrow, I believe. FAQ 3466 if you need it. That is going to be a great tool for our business. I'm trying to finalize a team-wide clean week that we can run together. Some of the details of Clean Week have confused me a little bit as far as how to access the workouts and if you get the shakes and not. And so I want to get a lot of those details hashed out before I present it to the team. But tomorrow night, which is October 3rd, Carl is going to be doing a live surge on the Team Beachbody Coach 411 page on Facebook. So it'll just be a live event streamed on Facebook. But he's going to be talking specifically about Clean Week and specifically about how to use that in your business. So it's tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's one of those things that you can just have in the background as you're going about your night and not have to be fully present and tuned into it. But I highly recommend if you're free to participate in that. The second thing is the diamond pool. So this kind of goes hand in hand with our third announcement, which is the fourth quarter fire. So diamond pool is FAQ 8005 if you need it, but it basically is your last chance for the quarter to earn that $250 bonus. So in order to earn the $250 bonus, you have to be a paid diamond rank by locked in and held starting 11/22. That's your last week to qualify. Now you can be a paid diamond before that and hold it for 6 weeks within the period, and then you're fine. But the last week of the year to hold it is starting on 11/22. So you also have to hit Success Club in October, November, and December. So planning around that, if you're working towards that $250 bonus, the more proactive you can be in these harder months, the better, because Success Club gets a little bit harder as the year goes on in this season. Now, fourth quarter fire is a phenomenal opportunity, which I really, if you're watching the recording, I really hope that you guys will participate in it. I am so pumped. So Kayla and I have participated in kind of a push group like this before, and she and I both made out like bandits with that push group. We earned over $600 each with that push group. And so this one is not going to be structured like the one that we were in previously. There's not going to be a lot of rules and regulations and requirements. With the previous one we were in, you had to comment and do every single daily assignment, and most of it was just dumb. And so we are not doing that. We're just going to be basically offering some extra tools, but offering extra accountability. So there'll be a daily challenge that you can either choose to participate in or not choose to participate in. It could be to have to do with the coaching opportunity. It could be invites, but it's going to be a much more free and open kind of concept. And I'm really excited about the leaders that we're paired up with. So it's just me and 2 other coaches, but there's 3 options for the fourth quarter fire. So if you're a brand new coach and you've never ranked to Emerald, there's a buy-in for you. If you're a coach or an Emerald coach or Ruby coach that is working towards Diamond for the first time, there's a buy-in for you. And they're all separate pools, just FYI. It's not one big pot. It's 3 separate pots. And then the third one is we're calling it Get Your Life Back. So if your lifetime rank is Diamond and you're working to achieve Diamond again, then you can be a part of that pool. Now, for those of you who have spouses like Bethany and Kayla, both of you have spouses that you use to grow your business to Diamond. If they are not Emerald yet, then you could also participate in the Emerald pot for them. So you could double dip for the 2. So definitely try to participate in that because the buy-in is super small. And, the odds of you earning your buy-in plus some are really, really good because people usually decide within the first couple weeks if they're going to commit to it or not. And then the more people we have, the higher the pot, the bigger the payout at the end. So I highly encourage our whole team to be a part of it, especially all those coaches to Emerald. That is a great opportunity for you to earn some extra money on that. So that's all on our announcements, I think. It starts next Monday, so October 9th. I'm going to unmute people. Actually, I'm just going to ask, okay, so now who has questions, comments, things that they would like to go over? We're going to kind of open the floor from here. Bethany, Kayla, Janine, Amanda. Hi, Amanda. Okay, so Amanda, we're just jumping on. I just finished announcements, but what we're going to do is kind of open the floor for anybody who wants to ask a question, share something they're struggling with, and maybe share an experience, ask for feedback, things like that. And if nobody has anything, then I have a backup plan. But does anybody have anything they want to go over? No? Bethany, I'm going to put you on the spot. You're a teacher. You're used to doing stuff like this. Do you have anything, like what's going well this week as opposed to 2 weeks ago, or what's going that you're struggling with? Okay, hold on. Oh, I'm getting the whole. Kayla, I'm going to toss it to you. Your turn. What's going well this week as opposed to 2 weeks ago, or what are you struggling with?
Finding people to invite to, we talked about, I just feel like I exhausted everyone during Team Cup. So trying to find new people to invite to, or kind of going back through the ones that were interested, but the money wasn't or the timing wasn't right. I need to go back through those and maybe try to invite to them again.
Gotcha. So how many people are you growing your network by per week, would you say?
Per week, at least 10. I'm trying to, now that I'm seeing that I'm running out of people to invite to, I'm really trying to focus on growing my network. So I know I did that really, I focused on that, I think, Friday on my lunch break. So,
Good.
Yeah.
So where you're primarily inviting from is Facebook, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to share with you guys now, this may or may not work. It just depends on what your Instagram following and your Instagram account is. So I have been pretty much anti-Instagram forever because it's so not user-friendly. Like, I like to be sitting down at my laptop and working. I don't like to work from my phone, but that's just the rebel in me. And so I've been really trying to expand myself. I still have been super consistent with posting on Instagram this whole time. But as far as inviting, I've never invited on Instagram ever. And so I'm realizing that I'm kind of running into a little bit of what you're running into, Kayla. It's not so much that I don't have as many people to invite. It's more so I have to do some serious hunting on my page to find somebody that I haven't invited. Like, I'm spending so much time trying to figure out who to invite that I waste my whole invite time. And so what I did today, which I was astonished by, was I went to my Instagram, and I'm pretty consistent with my Instagram stories. But I went to my Instagram and I realized how many people were following me that I had never had a conversation with. Like, ever. I probably sent out 80 invites today via Instagram because I could just go down my list in my Instagram stories. It tells you who watches your stories. And so I use that as a list for some of them. I don't like that I can't really see who my mutual friends are. So I don't know if these people are people that are you guys as clients. So I'm really hoping and praying that that's not the case. So if I send an invite to one of your people, I'm really, really sorry. But Instagram is not as friendly about that as I previously experienced with Facebook. But I have had probably 15 to 20 people respond back wanting information. And that's the most. When I cold invite, I get maybe one person. For every 25 invites, I get maybe one person that wants information. And so that was a really good turnaround. It also showed that I had a huge clientele on Instagram that I wasn't tapping into. My profile is public, and I don't have a big following. But there are people that pay attention to my stuff on Instagram that aren't my friends on Facebook. So I'm missing the boat if I'm only inviting on Facebook. So one thing you could consider is going through your Instagram pictures and things like that and seeing if there's anybody in there in the likes on your Instagram or in your Instagram stories, that people watch your stories, because I know that you do stories, Kayla. So that might be a place to start to find people to invite.
So you sent out those invites without even having talked, like have a conversation?
Yeah, I actually sent you, since you're doing a Halloween group too, I sent you the invite in a private message that I'm using, because Instagram, another thing I don't like about Instagram, it limits how many words that you can have, and I talk too much for all that.
So you sent that graphic in the Instagram invite?
Yeah. Yeah, and then what I did is, so I've got a couple really good conversations going right now, and they wanted information. We finally went through the whole back and forth Q&A, fill out the form, blah, 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 and then I was making my recommendation. I actually just screenshot all of the information about the challenge pack in a note on my phone and sent that, because it would be 16 messages with how limited.
Yeah.
I ain't got time for all that. So that might be something you could look into for Instagram. I'm not an Instagram pro. I don't really know what I'm doing. So y'all can watch me if I figure it out. But I am realizing that I too have got to start stop being a baby about it and just use my Instagram the way it needs to be used. So maybe that will help. Try that.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. I'm going to mute you in case you have anything else you want to share. Good. Okay. Bethany, I'm going to unmute you since I called you out. Are you good or no? You're good? Okay.
Okay, so my struggle is growing my network. I look on my suggested friends and I actually don't know anybody.
Yeah.
I'm actually I have no idea who you are.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to do from there.
Yeah. So you're kind of at this season of your business where you have to make a kind of a gut choice on what you want to do from here. And there's no right or wrong. So know that there's no judgment from me or anybody on the team. But this is kind of where you have to decide, if you run a free group, that's a great way to get people as friends on your friends list without it being overly creepy. Sometimes when Amanda had a very small friends list when she started, and that was one of the things that I challenged her. I actually gave her a month goal, and she far surpassed it because she loves a challenge. But she had to decide if she was going to friend people that she didn't know or not. So I can't tell you that. I can tell you it's going to be hard to find people that you know now that you've maxed out everybody. So there are different ways that you can do that. But have you friended all of your husband's friends?
The problem is that a lot of his friends don't live.
Ugh. Yeah, mine are deep.
Not in New Zealand yet.
That's true. So what about, do you have siblings?
Yes.
Okay, so here's what I did.
Well, high school.
Say what?
One of them's in high school.
Okay, not that one. So when I started out, my action steps were, number one, I started friending everybody on my husband's friends list, and then I got really paranoid that I was going to friend an ex-girlfriend or something and end up sending her an invite. So I actually asked him about that yesterday, and I was like, so if I were to go through and friend request your whole friends list, would I friend request any ex-girlfriends? So we had that conversation last night. But so I started with Donnie's list. Then I went through my mom's list of friends because I figured, that would be a safe list to work from. I went through Emmeline's list until she became a coach. So, you know,
Now you can do it
say what?
now you can do it again.
Exactly. So that would be kind of where I would start, with family and friends that you trust and are close to, that probably don't have creepers on their profile.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. 'Cause, like, I know I've listened to some calls where they like join interest groups on Facebook, but like I've searched like teachers in Orange County, like I don't know, just like different things that I've like described my life.
Yeah, I have to say I have not had. I know a lot of coaches use that portal for their business to grow their network. I just really struggle. I honestly just don't have time for all that. I don't feel like
No, like engaging on there.
yeah. I mean, I know I probably should, but I am with you. So I would rather go through and friend all of my family's friends, and because their odds are they probably have a good, like, someone that I would probably connect with on their friends list.
Yeah.
In time as well, you probably don't want to do this right now because you're a newer coach, but in time I will friend request friends of my current challengers, people that look kind of like my age, my demographic, might be a mom, things like that. Only time that backfires is if they become coaches. Cough, Kayla. Kayla and I have like an ungodly amount of mutual friends. So once that happens, when your challenger becomes a coach, then that whole friends list is now no more. Like, now they're all Kayla's. So anyway, so that might be where I would start. But it sounds like that's a reoccurring theme. I really just make it a goal to add, a handful of people each week to my network, because you do run out of friends pretty fast. And the more eyeballs you have on your journey, the better. So that's kind of where I would go with that. So,
okay.
Is that helpful? I hope. And you do Instagram stories and stuff too, so you could look on your Instagram.
I should, because I think I'm better at keeping up on there. And I noticed that like more like random people find me on Instagram than on Facebook.
Yeah, I have a lot, because I've been more intentional about my hashtags that I've used. I don't know if that's why, but a lot of the people that are following me right now are pregnant. I've had more conversations with moms who are pregnant today than I even knew I had on my friends list on Instagram. So I'm sure you'll find a bunch of people that like cats like you.
So, like cat?
Yes. Okay. Any other things that you want to talk about? Struggles, concerns? Okay. Sounds good.
I do. Tag thing I'll put on the group that's from the same person that did the one about that I put on there earlier. That's like helpful, but I haven't read.
Okay. All right, good deal. I'm gonna mute you, and then Janine had a question I'm gonna talk on briefly. Her phone died, so okay. Questions about people who are with other companies like Unique and Young Living. So my guess is, do you friend request them or whatnot? For me, if it's not a competing MLM, so like Unique honestly is a great people to have on your friends list, because they're constantly in pictures. So they're going to want to look good for pictures. And if they're insecure about their weight, then you know what I mean? So not trying to like target that. But if it's somebody like Plexus, definitely not Herbalife, I don't add those people. It's not to say that they couldn't end up joining me, but I just don't, I don't have room for that on my feed. It just, I don't know. It's icky to me. So that would be what I would say for that, for Janine. If she needs clarification, she can talk to me. All right, Amanda, I'm going to unmute you. Your turn. How are you doing, my friend? How are things going now? We're good. It's so weird hearing your voice, because I don't ever hear you talk on the call.
I don't think I ever have. But I don't know necessarily anything that I'm specifically struggling with right now, other than just I'm in one of those crunches where actually doing the invites in TeamZ is a struggle, which is not something that anybody can help me with. It's just mind over matter for myself. Yesterday, that was an interesting situation I went through with one of my said coaches, whatever. Thankfully, I blessed and released, and I'll keep rocking without it. But I think for me, I spent several hours, and I'm the kind of person where I don't want to give up on somebody, so I'd rather, go back and forth if I have to. So that may be something I find myself struggling with more as I grow my network, since I've got like 5 times as many people on my list as I did. And so trying to go back and forth and make them understand the way that something is or the options, and some people are just not going to do that. So.
Yeah, I agree. You did a great job of blessing and releasing that situation. It was time.
Thanks.
And I will say from personal experience, this is definitely one of the hardest lessons that I've had to learn, and one that I really actively went through, which all of you guys kind of got to watch with my big shift with my Restoration Nation Challenge group. That was the most healthy thing I have done as a coach in my entire business, because I was able to let go of people that I had been checking in on every month for 2 years, and never, like, they don't buy anything. It's just I had this like expectation on myself that I wanted them to succeed more than they desired to succeed, and it's just time, and so it's hard, and that's a hard balance to figure out, and only you can figure it out. But it's not something that's just exclusive to you. We all go through that, so I'm proud of you. And as far as Team Z goes, like I had a long conversation with Kayla the other night at dinner. September was a rough month for me as a coach. I had a huge influx of new coaches at the beginning of September, and the devil got in my head, and I immediately second guessed all of my abilities as a leader. And so I went through this whole mental game, and I hadn't planned out my month. That was my first problem. I went into the month with no game plan after Fitness Feud, and I was backpedaling. And so I'm with you. If you could see my Team Z follow-up list right now, it says 250 follow-ups. So you're not alone. My challenge to you, and this is something that I had to do today, is it's going to take me a week to get caught up on Team Z. I have 1 week until my challenge group starts. So I am making it a point before I start my Team Z to invite 10 fresh people before I even start my Team Z, because that way I'm ensuring I'm at least getting some new invites out, and I see that kitty, some new invites out, and ensuring that I'm expanding the number of people who could join me and not relying solely on my follow-ups, because they might pan out or they might not. So that would be something I would, as you're catching up with Team Z, send out 5 invites before you even start on your Team Z. That way you're still giving that expansion to your business. Be what I would say.
I would say as well, I thought earlier about it just before the call. I was kind of trying to get workouts and everything in. And for me, when I have money invested in something, I guess because I'm in the financial industry on a daily basis. So earlier when I was thinking about it, I was like, well, gosh, you spent a year's worth of money investing in it. Why are you not utilizing it? So it was kind of an eye-opener for myself as I thought through it. So I think that will be kind of more my driving force on days that I'm not committed to it, maybe.
Yeah, well, and I think you're doing the fourth quarter fire too, right? Yeah, that will really help. I think that's kind of what our team needs right now. We had a really good rhythm going, maybe a little too much. It was a lot of Team Cup was a lot, but this will be kind of a toned down Team Cup, where we're just having that accountability again daily within a group of people working towards their goals. So I think that will help all of us get back in that daily power hour bandwagon. So you're not alone. I think our whole team went through that post-Fitness Feud. So the next time we run a big group like Fitness Feud, we'll have a post-Fitness Feud game plan. Looking back, that was the biggest thing that we did wrong, was we didn't have a game plan after it was over. It was phenomenal. It was awesome. It had created a lot of great excitement, but we didn't have a game plan afterwards. So, hey, fail forward, right? So anything else you want to talk about? No? You're good? Okay, so the only thing I want to touch on, and then we're going to be done, and we'll respect you guys' time. is I want to challenge you guys to do something that scares you. So in the next week, whether it's talking about something in a post on social media, for me, it was inviting on Instagram. I just didn't want to do it. But I had to get over that fear hump and invite on Instagram today, and that's proven to be so fruitful for me with those 15 conversations I have now going. So find something that scares you this week and make yourself push past that. So whether it's a call to action post, whether it's talking about a pain point, whether it's going live on your page, you've never gone live before, things like that. So I encourage you to look for those areas, because that's where we're going to grow as coaches, and that's where people are going to relate to us, is when we're willing to do the scary things. So that was the only thing. And Instagram stories. If you're not using Instagram or Instagram stories, I'm not here to tell you that Instagram's the bomb.com. I still don't like it, but it doesn't hurt to dabble in it a little bit on the side. So Facebook is still 95% my focus, and I literally just regurgitate everything I put on Facebook on Instagram. So I don't create separate content. I don't do any of that crazy stuff. But posting it in both places, I've been doing that for over a year, and that is why now I'm able to have some more clients to dip into on Instagram. So maybe I'll get somebody to train us on here that's smarter than me on Instagram, because it's not my forte. Maybe I'll get Nate to train us. He's an Instagram guru. All right, so if we don't have anything else, hopefully everybody's good. I just want you to know I'm proud of you. I know that September was hard for a lot of us. I know post-fitness feed was hard for a lot of us. I think September, the team struggled, and that's okay. We've got a lot of moving pieces in September, but October, especially with this fourth quarter fire and going into a fresh month, I just encourage you, as what I'm trying to do, is just leave everything from September behind us and focus on positive energy and positive movement in our businesses going into this end of the year. I was looking at the people who are going to be joining in on fourth quarter fire, and if everybody comes through and I get my act together, we have a huge chance of hitting elite by the end of the year, which means we have to have everything locked in by, what date is it? Where's that date? 11/22. So that's kind of our end goal. So we've got 8 weeks to work through that. So anyways, that's all I've got for tonight. So y'all are awesome. I would love if you have a topic that you want me to cover. I'm solely doing all these calls based off what you guys need. So if you have something you're struggling with, message me and we'll make it into the rotation for team call. So, okay. All right. Everybody good? Good job. All right. You guys are awesome, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.